Hey everyone, this is Julian Wong from the Binary Lab, and I'm going to give a follow-up video on this IQ option. So I wanna update you guys about some of the questions that I put forward to the account manager. As you know, in my previous video, I've mentioned to you that we're actually re-including binary IQ option into Binary Lab as a joining option. So that actually means that if you've been wanting to join Binary Lab and use IQ option as a broker, you can. However, in the previous video, I've actually mentioned an issue that's been coming up quite a lot in the feedbacks, which are generally good about binary options. Feedback has been generally good about IQ option, which you can check in my previous video as well. Go through the whole thread over there. But I wanted to draw you attention to this issue, and I've actually got a response to this. I want to talk about that in today's video. Okay, so this is an issue regarding the execution size, the trade size, and let's say if the trade is in direction, the less money you will place on it, it makes Monaco's dangerous because the only reason why Monaco's get a better entry. And so basically, he given this scenario over here where when you put a trade over here, you can see that actually there's a different price that you can put on a trade. Okay, and so I'm going to be showing this to you live later on. But in the meantime, I want to show you what the response is with regards to that. So there are a couple of other issues I mentioned, and basically it's on execution time. So this is a representative from IQ Option, and she mentioned that although she wouldn't be there this week, which I'm going to London for the Financial Partners Expo and London Affiliate Conference, but she's going to link me up with her colleagues at the booth of IQ Option. And about execution time. So the time of the process may vary and depends on the quality of communication between a trading platform and the server of the company, as well as market conditions. So in normal conditions, the process varies between 0 to 4 seconds. So let's say I've been testing this out on a really, really small live account, which you guys know in the last video I started with $50. And execution has been instantaneous. However, since then, I've actually come across some issues where it taken more than a second to confirm. Or let's say 4 seconds later, I was informed that the trade was not placed. And true enough, it's also during high volatility times. So the next thing is the question that Paul has outlined very detailed over here. Basically about this issue. So here's the thing, all right? We really have limits on the investment that a trader can do on every single trade, and it's caused by risk management of the company. The maximum amount of investments is formed in accordance with the rules, the request for traders, and you can read more about it on this one. So I want to click on this link, and actually I already have it open over here. So I want to explain it to you, but at the same time, I want to show it to you in live context. I have this open right here. This is the same live account, which I started with 50 just to test things out. Want to get a gist of how this thing is working out, and just see how I'm able to place trades with small balances, and if they're messing me over in any way, because usually brokers don't mess people over until the balances get quite big, and that's the general thoughts. But in the meantime, a lot of feedbacks have been good. I've taken a lot of trades over here. As you can see, I've taken a whole bunch of trades and taken the account to about double of the original starting balance. And over here, when I hover over this box, when I delete this, I can see that this number varies greatly, okay? So as you can see, in those couple of seconds, these amounts are changing. And a moment ago, it was over 3K. Now it's down to a smaller amount. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is because this is exactly what's being discussed earlier in the text. And over here, you can see them varying in amounts. So this also, I noticed, has a big bearing as well with regards to the bias of the markets. So if the market sentiment, at least within the traders of this brokerage, is generally on either of these sides, let's say in this case it is fairly even. So as you can see, this is fairly even as well. Let's try and find something that's in a strong trend. So I think it'd be quicker for me to see what is in a strong trend by taking a higher view of this throughout the time frames. This is a bit of an uptrend, or rather coming off a downtrend. So let's see what we can get on Aussie USD. Aussie USD is still, like I said, primarily a downtrend, but it's currently going up on the shorter time frames. But this being 60 and 40 is obviously a little bit more obvious than 50-50 that we've seen just now. So the fact that this says 63 and 36, that means that despite this, people are actually looking at the possibility of this bouncing of this spot. It is expanding. It's a reverse pen in this case right here. So so it's gonna probably go down for another wave and make this triangle even bigger. So with that, I'm gonna see when I clear the amounts. When things are, in this case, you can see that this here is a lot. The trade sizing is a lot less here than here. And at the same time, there's a lot of activity going on in this pair as well, making the trade sizes very little as compared to maybe when I pick something a bit more rare at this point in time. Well, this is actually quite low maximum as well, okay? So, I mean, this is definitely one point I wish to bring up to you. So this actually affects how much you can trade, okay? So if you guys are fairly small in your trading, this is going to be fine. If your account size is anywhere less than 10,000 or even less than 20,000, I think these amounts should do you quite fine. But when your accounts get bigger, let's say for me, as you know, I trade a really big account at 24 option. This is something that could be a little bit of an issue for the really, really big traders out there. But for anyone who's trading less than 20K, this is going to be okay because you don't want to be trading more than this anyway. Plus, I also want to share with you that you can actually place more than a trade. And if you cannot get that amount, you can probably do it in a couple of trades to get that amount that you want to put down on a trade. Okay. So now let's get over to the explanation, and it's over here. So what I understand from this is that because they have such a big customer base, they're actually brokering within their customer base between the buys and sells. And I'm going to play you this video anyway, and let's have a look.
Here is the US dollar, and here is the euro. The euro to dollar exchange rate means how many dollars 1 euro costs, and this ratio is constantly changing. IQ Option acts as a broker, selling options to traders who have multifaceted interests. The average rate of return on US-Euro pair is 85% if you are trading on the IQ Option platform. This is Tom. He believes that the price of the asset will go down, so he invests, let's say, $100 on the conjecture that it will go down. And this is Jim. He thinks that the price of the asset will go up, so he invests $100 in it as well, theorizing that it will go up. The price of the asset went up. Jim was right. He gets the promised 85% return, which is deducted from Tom's investment. The remaining percentage is the broker's commission. In this example, the broker takes a commission of 7.5% in turnover for any possible outcome. Each trader has invested $100, so the turnover amounted to $200, and 7.5% of this amount is $15. But on the IQ Option platform, thousands of traders are trading at any given time. Jim is part of the group of traders that predicted the asset's price would go up. Let's call them the bulls. And altogether, they invested $10,000 on that prediction. At the same time, Tom's group of traders, let's call them the bears, invested $8,000 on the prediction that the same asset's price would go down. There's a discrepancy of $2,000. This is where a market maker comes into the picture. A market maker is an institution with its own capital, and it is always ready to take risks when a discrepancy of investments appears. A market maker gets its profit in the following market situation. If the bear's forecast comes to fruition and the price of the asset goes down, the market maker will take this difference of $2,000 as a commission for covering potential risks. IQ Option as a broker.
So basically, just to clear on this point, when they're no longer able to broker within their internal database of customers, they go to an external liquidity. Of course, they want to minimize this as well, but that actually enables them to be able to take on additional trades that's outside of what keeps their buys and sells even.
A commission of 7.5% in turnover, and the bears take a profit of 85%, which was covered by investments from the bulls. Risks for the market maker come up when the market situation is reversed.
Okay, so I'm going to continue this video in a moment, but in the meantime, what you can see from this is that they're actually kind of transparent, wherein these amounts are at. So this actually helps keep the broker profitable, or rather in a position that they're able to pay out on the profits that you make on your trades. Okay, so this is one element that greatly sustains the profitability, as it's quite clear to see over here. If they would accept every single trade out there, it's going to create an issue for the broker, because what's going to happen is that if too many people are doing a certain kind of a trade, then bad news for you. You wouldn't be able to do that. Okay. Now let's get over to this video again. So I think you're going to get what
and the price of the asset goes up, the market maker will compensate for this discrepancy from its funds to provide the bulls with the profit they have earned, which wasn't completely covered by investments from the bears. If the bears win, the market maker takes this difference as a profit and as a fund for covering potential risks. IQ Option as a broker works with several market makers to ensure uninterrupted operation of the trade.
Okay, so just unofficially, some of these market makers can be any of the big forex firms out there that provide liquidity. So it could be things like FXCM, IG Markets, Ducascopy, it could be anything like that, or even like Nadex as well. So they work with a lot of these ones, including banks, and that's how they get liquidity.
Platform. Our company guarantees that traders will get their profit for any successful transaction.
Okay, so this is one important point, and this could be, this is depending on the money management. Once again, this could be a deal breaker if you're trading really, really large amounts. Let's say if you're let's say if your method is about martingaling, okay, you see, because let's say if you're taking multiple entries, let's say either you're going with a trend or against a trend, but it gets, and let's say you failed in previous entries, but it needs a certain large trade to set things right. And depending on how large the starting initial trade, let's say, if you really want to be looking at this price like all the time, or rather at the beginning before you even start. So let's say if this is going to be as large as you can go, then maybe my initial trade is not going to be anything larger than $200. Let's say if I want to play big, because in a worst case scenario, if I'm chasing after the trade, if I wish to chase a trade, okay, once again, in my training at Binary Lab, I'll tell people when they should not be chasing trades. But let's say if you think you want to be chasing a trade, you want to look at these conditions, because this could really be a deal breaker for you in the martingating. And for that example, if you think that you cannot get it right off the bat, you may want to wait for a better entry on the charts. Find a more clear-cut opportunity, not when things are 50-50, not when things are in a certain consolidation zone. If you watch my recent video about this week's market analysis, you can get a really good idea about that, because I really show you guys stuff like that. But let's say for now, I can tell you that with the price behaving like this, it's definitely going to be oscillating within the minus 100 and 100 on the CCI. So as you can see, it's stuck within this range. And if that is the case, and if I even start on a bunch of trades, I wouldn't, because I cannot get precise enough to be able to win this trade right off the bat. Okay. Now getting back to this this video right here. So it says that they guarantee you on any trades that you can place. Okay, and so this is quite this is like this is something that, like I said, it depends on this. I really need you guys. Let's say if you're going to trade IQ option, by the way, you can actually open IQ option within seconds. Okay, within like 5 seconds. It's that easy. Just go to the link at this video description. Or you just go to this page over there. Is like HTTP. I think I'll do a new tab. So you can go to HTTP. Let me go in my binary lab on that IQ option. So what you can do over here is that within 5 seconds, you can actually set up a demo account with IQ option. You just need to fill in your first name, last name, email, password, hit the start trading button. Don't forget to click the accept terms and conditions, and you get your demo account like that straight away. It's refillable, and you can deposit any amount of money in this account, starting from $10 and up. Once again, I personally recommend that with this broker, unless you don't really understand the video that I mentioned, but I think anything up to 20,000 is probably an okay start. Anything more than that, you may want to be looking at a different kind of broker. But anything less than 20,000 is an okay place to go to, and they have the means to pay. They have the means to pay because of this business model. Now that I understand it, they're protecting themselves actually in you as well, and for that reason, that's why they're actually so able to pay payouts within a very short period of time. I actually asked about how much people are getting. I think it was just before this post. People mentioned, you mentioned you see, this guy has taken out like €4,800 and a little less a couple of times. People are actually getting paid here pretty fast, and that's quite important. But I said protect yourselves that way. Create your account over here, try it out, and let's see actually on the demo account, are you able to see that? You can actually toggle between live and demo. So let's say if you mess up a couple of times, just switch back to demo, and then from that way you can see, let's say clicking on this amount. The demo doesn't show you the amounts that you can place, only the real account will. So heck, it's just like $10 deposit minimum. You can test it out. But let's say for those of you looking for a binary lab membership, you need to be able to have like 500 and above in your account that's open through us to get free membership into the binary lab. So when you have that free, you have the account. Let's say even you're starting out, okay, I don't recommend starting anything less than $50 or $100. That's going to give you a good feel of the broker, and you can actually see for yourself, these things that work. Okay, check those out, and there's a whole bunch of assets here as well. You can trade like shares, Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is with these stuff. Now the amounts are all quite low. So okay, but in those last couple of seconds, you notice how that switched from really, really small amounts like 1,000 plus to like 2,000 plus. So that's going to be a lot better for someone who's trading a 20K account. Let's say even a 30K account. If you're trading anything larger than 20K, if you're trading kind of small, like small percentages, that's probably livable. Okay. And if you have any other questions, take note that, like I said, I will be going to the Financial Partners Expo in London this week. So if you have any questions, go into the comments of this video, ask your questions. I'll pick out the questions and bring them forward to the IQ option representative and answer them live. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Any questions, go ahead and comment below so I can compile these questions and bring them forward to the right person. In the meantime, go ahead to the link, thebinarylab.net/IQ option, create your account, try things out within 5 seconds, and feel free to go ahead and go live with a small amount, like $50 or $100. Test things out, see how you like it before opening, depositing more, and getting a free membership in Binary Lab. All right. So With that, see you in the next video. If you found this video useful, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.